Yes, hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, and to those of you in the United Kingdom, and I guess it's only relevant in this country, perhaps elsewhere, Happy Father's Day to all you daddy-os out there. Of course, myself, I'm not a father, though I do have a little, sometimes annoying, kitty cat. Anyway, Chelsea news. Today we are discussing goalkeepers, midfielder Caicedo and stuff like that. If you haven't watched yesterday's upload where I talk about Nicholas Jackson, I'd urge you guys to go check that out. We do a statistical, don't be intimidated by that. It's a simple graph comparison with him in Armando Bria. Of course, he's running very hot right now, the young striker, and not the highest of profile clubs have looked at him, but maybe, just maybe, this is intelligent scouting and planning for Chelsea. Not, wasting a profound, or risking a profound amount of money on a centre forward, a striker. To be honest, should we sign Lautaro, who has reportedly agreed in theory to join Chelsea, or Victor Osimhen, who would be very exciting. Many people would be excited, but of course that would come with concern, pressure, worry. We signed Havertz thinking he was going to bang goals. We signed Werner thinking he was going to bang goals. We signed Lukaku thinking he was going to bang goals. We signed Morata thinking he was going to bang goals. And of course there's like the obscure Patos and Falcaos in between and whatnot, and Higuains, lest we forget. So maybe we just accept the fact how we do need a complete rebuild from the ground up, and maybe we just don't need Galactico-star players. Although, maybe a few sprinkled in there. Hold on, the cat, the aforementioned cat. Hello, mate. Okay, well done. Yes, here she is. Oh, just hit her against the chair. So, yeah, I'm really keen. About £30 million, or £29.7 million is the release clause for Nicholas Jackson. It's not a sexy name, but maybe we don't go for sexy names. Maybe we go for sensible names. And maybe he represents that. Anyway, today I go into detail into him. Reports suggest that Chelsea may even negotiate less than his buyout clause, which Chelsea would be able to just trigger and essentially get him because he'd preference Chelsea over the current clubs that are looking at him. One would have to assume. So yeah, have a look. If Chelsea can't even negotiate that even further down to £25 million, and have him and Breuer, two young strikers going neck and neck, and then Chelsea can rely on goals from fullbacks and Cuckoo, wingers. Maybe we get like a Mudryk in goal scoring form again. Of course, he got 2 assists for Ukraine. I forgot to mention that on my previous upload. I believe in their qualifier, was it a Euros qualifier? I think they're playing against North Macedonia, so they should be beating them. But they were 2-0 down, and he got 2 assists in the comeback, and I am to understand. Am I? Is that English? That he was integral in that comeback, and we got a couple assists for Chelsea. We know he hasn't scored, but he has got a goal in him. So should he find his shooting boots, the likes of Nicholas Jackson up front, maybe it could be done, more time on the training pitch, no European football. Pochettino can just, really hammer his ideas, his philosophy, his tactics and instructions into these young players and see if we can make it work. But today, I did want to talk about that at the beginning of the video, and also I go into more details in the previous upload. Have a look if you want the stats. But I want to talk about Caicedo, a report that I saw, and indeed goalkeepers. Yeah, a humble and friendly, gentle reminder to drop a like on the video and subscribe. And should you choose to subscribe, if that's something you feel like you would like to do, because I upload once, twice a day, you should hit that. Let's see if I got it. Sweet, sweet bell, baby. Bit husky, but we move. All right. Firstly, Moises Caicedo. It does look like Chelsea are in what is doomed a one-horse race for what will be a profoundly expensive, and let's be real, overpriced footballer. That's what they do, Brighton. They just sell footballers for far too much money. It's also probably worth mentioning, though I hadn't planned it for this video, just quickly, fleetingly mentioning, Chelsea are reportedly willing to sell Mark Cucurella this summer for £30 million to Newcastle United. Yeah. So that would represent potentially a £32 million loss, over 50% loss just after 12 months for a player. Yeah, that is just profound. Though the 62 I read elsewhere does represent the full amount, including add-ons. Of course, Mark Cucurella would have achieved none of those add-ons in his first rather underwhelming 12 months at Chelsea Football Club. Though a low amount of money, £30 million, many people would hear that, the fact how we could sell Cucurella for some money, is significant, £30 million in the grand scheme of things, and absolve ourselves of what will be very high wages in Cucurella. Now that is smart stuff. Well, it's not smart stuff, the whole thing's not smart, but what I'm saying is what could be a positive silver lining out of it is maybe Chelsea really do consider bringing back Ian Maatsen. Of course, left back, enjoyed a really good spell under Vincent Kompany, playing at Burnley, winning the championship, getting automatic promotion. I believe he was in team of the season. He was the left back team of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Chelsea might look at that and think, all right, our left backs are Ben Chilwell first choice and Ian Maatsen second choice. And should we be in a real pinch, midfielder Lewis Hall, who should remain in the squad, can play at left back. Sorted, mate. And at right back, you got Malo Gusto and you got Reece James. And, should Trevor Chalobah stay, he can also do it. So, not that we're going to need 3 players for each position when we're not even in Europe. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, feel free to comment down below on Mark Cucurella and how you'd feel about him going for £30 million to Newcastle. Alright, Moises Caicedo, there's an article here on hitc.com talking about how it wasn't the worst thing Arsenal pulling out because Chelsea are reportedly willing to match his salary demands of £200,000 per week. £200,000 per week. Now, Chelsea have paid players more, of course, and high-profile players, but my brain is exploding at the moment because I'm trying to figure out how Chelsea works. I'm just looking on Transfermarkt now. I'm trying to see if I can find his current wages because it is going to be, let's be real, it's going to be like 10k a week, if that, at Brighton. I can't find it. But yeah, it will be like really, really like, minimal. It'll be like 10, 15k a week, probably thereabouts. And he's going to jump to 200k a week. Look, this whole him pictures in the Chelsea shirt is all academic at this point. When he was, a few years ago. It's all academic at this point. My issue is I just don't know the structure. Look, man, Mason Mount has been on no money since his whole Chelsea tenure. He's been on half of what Ruben Loftus-Cheek's on now. He gets less than Carney Chukwuemeka, who we signed from Aston Villa's academy. Now, if we're not going to give Mason Mount this first team of money, that by the way, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Tottenham they just would all pay them, and we want to pay less. That sucks. But I'm trying to navigate this scenario in my head with the greater good, with the big picture, looking at it holistically. Yeah, Chelsea, to be a well-functioning footballing company moving forward, should try and get everyone on even relatively low wages with heavy incentive-based contracts so they can, should they perform, earn loads of money. I've referenced it many times. It's kind of like the Harry Kane approach at Tottenham. He's got a good wage, but it's not like a Galactico wage, but it becomes a near Galactico wage because he's just casually banging in 30 Premier League goals, So they were smart to do that with Kane. And I absolutely endorse that with Chelsea. But if true, like, I know Mudrik's on 90k a week, so that's good, and he's on one of these incentive base. I heard Enzo's on more. Like, Enzo's on a bigger wage, and Chelsea probably thought, right, this is a Galactico player we can build around. But do they think the same for Moises Caicedo, who costs 5? No, actually, I don't want to say the money, because of course Enzo cost like 10 million 6 months prior to costing 106 million. So I'm definitely not going to mosey on down that road. But he does seem to have more star Galactico quality, of course. Enzo Fernandez, he was playing well in the Champions League. He won the World Cup. He won the Best Young Player award at the World Cup. Moises Caicedo has been like vibing at Brighton, and we might have to pay the same amount of money as Enzo Fernandez. And then obviously when you pay a big amount of money, often it dictates not always a la Mudryk, but often it dictates a big wages. And I just don't feel good about, I don't know, paying Caicedo. I mean, again, look, I'm reflecting off reports here. It's just going around different articles and headlines that Chelsea are willing to match his wage demands. Look, Arsenal pay big wages as well. They pay Saka over 300k a week. Should Mason Mount go? Well, Declan Rice, he'll get over 200k a week. Easy. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously Caicedo looks at himself and thinks, well, I'm a good player. Declan Rice is going to go and get 250k a week. I want 200k a week. And many people in football fandom will prefer Caicedo over Declan Rice. I don't personally. I think they're both very good, but let's remember Caicedo's younger as well, so let's see what he can do. Look, man, I want to trust the infrastructure. I want to trust the club. I want to trust a new direction with a long-term ethos and philosophy that we have so been lacking for such a long time. I'm here for that. But from the outside, from this fragmented and limited amount of information, it looks like a crap show. I'm not condemning Chelsea to being a disaster, but as things stand, I do not understand this sporadic wage structure. And maybe we'll learn over time. Maybe The Athletic will do an article and go, right, this is the structure, this is the rules behind it. So-and-so gets this much, so-and-so gets this much because of this, this, and this. They did have to pay Enzo this much because they believed it was such a problem position or whatever. If we can hear some of that eventually, there may be leniency showed towards them, but I don't know, man. This is wild. Let's talk about goalkeeper. So, two things I want to talk about. Chelsea are looking at Emi Martinez. That's come out in the news yet again. Give Me Sport saying Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano, Martinez could leave Villa Park if a big offer arrives for him. While Jones thinks, Dean Jones says to Give Me Sport, while he thinks there's a chance he'll end up staying, loads of clubs are looking at him. He's 30 years old. Chelsea have been back in. Manchester United look like they're going to get Andre Onana. We spoke about that in yesterday's video. If you want more info on that, go watch yesterday's video. So Chelsea are considering alternatives still, and Emi Martinez, look, 30, he's a good goalkeeper. He's another World Cup winner, of course, maybe because of that, and his country, Pochettino knows more about him and would like him, and that's why he wants Lautaro in front of Enzo, and he wants Emi Martinez behind Enzo. But I don't know, but there's a lot of reports suggesting Kepa is staying as number one. According to Sky Sports, says the Mirror, Chelsea Pochettino has no plans to replace Kepa as number one. However, that does not mean the Blues won't dip into the market, the goalkeeper market, which means selling Mendy, of course Edouard Mendy, who wants to be a first-team goalkeeper, and loaning, I guess, Gaga Slonina. We've spoken how Marcus Bettinelli would remain third choice. So what, Chelsea buy another second choice that again could challenge Kepa? Maybe, like, do the whole Edu Mendy thing and when they just sort of push each other, which, by the way, I think's bollocks. I don't think that's good for a goalkeeper. Look, outfield players is different. I know we've spoken about Nicholas Jackson and Breuer. You can make a mistake as a striker and you get no more chances to score. You make a mistake as a goalkeeper, you need to show long-term trust in your goalkeeper. I know that's quite old-fashioned, but that's kind of how I feel. And I feel Chelsea should maintain an allegiance to a first-team goalkeeper and not have this floating uncertainty. Now, what do I think about keeping Kepa? Well, Kepa is very professional. Okay, I know maybe you could argue it's not professional him coming out talking about how much how he's had such a good season when Chelsea haven't had a good season. That's not a good look. But the truth is, you know, shot stopping percentage wise, I think he's had a career best season at Chelsea. He has shown mental resilience to come back from all this stuff that happened to him. You know, in terms of being dropped to be number one again. He's got a new missus that's made him stable, and you know he's still like coming into his prime as a goalkeeper in terms of age. Like goalkeeper's prime is late 20s, early 30s. And how old is Kepa? He's late 20s. Like we got him 24, I believe. So maybe he's 28, 29. Let's just double check that quickly, so I can confirm. He's 28, mate. So he's like in his prime, entering his prime now as a goalkeeper. Keeping Kepa in the... Look, man, he's not the thing is, I'm going to be honest here. I flip-flopped on this. For long, I said, yeah, just get us a new goalkeeper. You know, if you could just buy one player now and keep certain players. But then again, I didn't think we'd sell all these midfielders. It's so tough, man. Because what if Poch fixes the team systemically and we don't give up certain types of chances and... he just makes snap saves in the box, which he's good at, and he's good with his feet. He's good with his feet, Kepa. He is good with his feet, and maybe that was been highlighted even more because he's playing, you know, with Mendy in the squad, and Mendy is bad with his feet. You know, maybe that's it, but I'm on the fence here. Look, I'm so much in the trenches. I feel so like, you know, needing to just trust the process. Whatever Pochettino says can go. Let me know what you think. Would you accept Kepa to stay for maybe one more season as first-team goalkeeper? Talk about strikers. Talk about Caicedo as midfielder. Talk about Cucurella to Newcastle for 30 million. Yes, I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Hello, Cat, and take it easy. Peace.